What's happening, everybody? And special what's up to my team killers, my killers of teams. In this video we're going to talk about Warframe's newest mode, Disruption. I'm going to give you 5 need-to-knows, like how to play, new enemies, tips on Warframes and which ones to use and how to use them, new resource farming tips, and of course the rewards. Then after that I'm going to give you 2 special tips that might actually almost break this mode open. But first, we're going to get to that in about 12 seconds. Alright, so first off, Disruption is a new endless defense mission. Now the way this rolls out is there are 4 mini defense missions within a round. Depending on which mission you pick is how many rounds you have to do before you're allowed to extract. Now I know defenses typically are boring. You gotta pitch a tent in the same spot and hang out there all day. But Disruption, the way it plays out, is almost dynamic. Now the object is to kill the Corpus, and while you're killing Corpus, you're gonna run into the new enemies, these called Amalgam enemies. Now after you kill them, they're gonna drop a colored key. Now this part's as simple as you think. You take the colored keys to any one of the colored conduits that are around the map. Now when you plug them in, it's going to start a defense. You're going to see a timer up here in the corner, and you literally have to defend this conduit until that timer runs out. But there's a twist. There's a few twists actually. The first catch is these posts have their own status effects. Some are good, most are bad. Things like health drain, damage buff, shield drain, electric shock, and my personal favorite to hate, nullifier bubbles. Those suck, but it does add a lot of variety to the level. Now before the timer runs out, a high-powered extra defense Eximus looking type of red glowing Corpus monster called a Demolist is going to come to your conduit and blow himself up. And when he does that, you failed that defense. So you're going to have to find them before they get to you. Now once you kill the Demolist enemy, that's it. You've won that mini defense. Now it's only 3 more you got to do, and that round is done. Now depending on which level you pick, it will determine the level of your enemies. It will also determine how many rounds you have to do before you can run away. For example, the first level, you do 1 round, so that's defend 4 conduits, then you can run. The second level, you got to do 2 rounds. That's 8 conduits, then you're out of there. And so on, until you get to the endurance, where it's just you can go until you can't go anymore. Now these are Corpus enemies, so we can use our usual Corpus melting elements to help things go faster. But our new enemies, they're called Amalgams. These are the ones that drop the keys. They're a little bit tougher. They're kind of like Infested, but they're Eidolon based. They're like the Ropalolist. God, that's a stupid name. Now the other guys are the Demolist. These are the ones that come and ruin your party. Now there's really no extra step in killing them. There's no extra elements that you need to do this. But as I mentioned before, they're a little suicidal, so you kind of have to pay attention to them. Now you can hear them coming.
Good. Keep it up. Every single bit stream of this carnage only makes me richer.
Now I know marking a tough enemy is a good practice, but when you or anyone on your team spots a Demolist, it automatically pops up on the map for everyone to see. Now the Demolist enemies, they're pretty much immune to a lot of the Warframe's abilities. Otherwise, guys would just sit right by the conduit and use Vauban again, knock the dust off him, and just sit there with Bastille. He'll run right through Bastille. A matter of fact, Limbo is not a good choice either, mainly because there are tons of nullifier bubble guys running all over this place, and a lot of the conduits use bubbles themselves. I would personally suggest to use area attack frames like Equinox, Hildren, Mesa, even Ember, any type of area nuking frame, maybe even Nuke Trinity. Nyx and Nova really excel here. The areas where you'll do most of your fighting are actually perfectly sized for Nova's 4th ability and Nyx's Chaos ability. Now, I want to mention before I go on that Frost's bubble does not slow down the amalgams or the Demolith. It actually kind of just gets in the way. So a better pick would be to leave Frost in the igloo and go and get Cora and bring her kitty kennel. It's another super solid pick, especially if you're planning on doing this solo. Her entangle ability works on the Demolith. Now they will do a little quick nullifier bubble to knock it off, but you can do it again. And her Whiplash refreshes her entangle ability. Now this is also not including that if you have her and another pet, you can use the Hunting Mutations build with the whole Mark Zone Gas build. Like, these two will get together and do the work for you. She is an absolute fantastic frame for this, but personally, I don't suggest soloing this. Why would you do that? You could end up in a group with Nyx, Nova, Cora, and I don't know, maybe even Saren. Teams are always better. In my opinion, always better than doing it solo. Now, another great reason to bring Cora and her kitty kennel, plus a group of friends, is our new resource, Hexenon. Now, of course, if you have a booster, that's a great way to farm it. You're obviously going to get double. But if you bring the Semeta cat, what she does is she has an ability. Here's the mod right here, and what this does is this gives you luck, or this doubles the resources that you find. As a matter of fact, this also doubles your health sometimes. If you notice you're standing here getting shocked, this cat's got your back. This is another good reason why it's a good idea to bring this animal. And its ability stack with the booster. So if you found 4 and the booster turned into 8, then you get some luck. Now you got 16. Now technically, all of these modes are endless. So in my opinion, I say go to the very first one, the easiest one, because the longer you play, the better you do, the more resources that you'll get. And the better rewards you'll get too. On that note, I'm just going to post the rewards up here so you guys can see them, because there actually is a lot, and if I just went through them, this is going to be like a 20-minute video, and nobody wants that. So, I'm going to get to the 2 things that I noticed through tons of testing that made this mode almost too easy. Now, the first one, something that maybe not everyone can get their hands on or doesn't have, there's an event going on right now called the Plague Star event. Now, in the Plague Star, they have an arcane there called Exodia Epidemic. Exodia Epidemic fits on the Plague Star Zaws. So you have to get one of those. These Zaws are, you can turn them into the best weapons in the game, and the Plague Star Zaws are better than the average Zaw, so it's worth getting, period. But what this arcane does is when you bullet jump and you press circle and you slam on the ground, it shoots a wave out straight. And what this wave does is like a mini rhino stomp. It literally makes a stasis feel on everybody that it hits and makes them wait there for you to come kill them. This works on the Demolith. You can continuously do this, and he just hangs out. Now, the other thing I noticed is there is another arcane down in Voxelaris, yay turret hunting, called Magus Lockdown. I'm going to have to read this one, so bear with me. On Void Dash, it drops a mine that tethers up to 8 enemies. After 4 seconds, it explodes for 60% of their health damage as puncture damage, which I might add, puncture lowers the enemy's defense. Now, when you put all these things in Cora's hand, this makes her the absolute best frame, in my opinion, for this mode. Now, guys, as I said, I'm going to wrap this up, so if this has helped any, join the team. Become a killer of teams. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Keep it easy, and always, just keep gaming.